These are the 0.5 C notes for pre-calc. We're talking about circles today. The equation of a circle looks a certain way. It starts off with a parenthesis and then is x minus h. H will just be any number, and that quantity is squared. And then the same thing for y. They call it y minus k. Again, k is just any number. And then that's equal to r squared. So the hk in this is the center of the circle, and r is the radius. And you can see good examples of it on examples 1 and 2. It's in that circle form. So for example number 1, the h and k are always going to be the opposite signs because of the way the formula is written. The formula is written with a minus sign in the middle, which always in math means the opposite. So when I look for the h and the k, I'm actually going to get a positive 5 and a negative 2. So h, k, change signs. It's because of that minus in the parentheses on both of those. All right, and then at the end, after the equal sign, you have this 9, which is your radius squared. So what number squared would give you 9? That would be 3. So in other words, you can square root to get the radius. Graphing is pretty straightforward. You're just going to plot the center first, over 5 down 2, plot the point. And then to create your circle, you're just going to go in the direction of the radius, up, down, right, and left. So just count 3 in each direction. Up 3, put a dot. Down 3, put a dot. Right 3, and left 3. So again, we went out by 3 in 4 directions. And then just make the best circle you can make. All right, example number 2. We've got that hk again, so we'll change our sign. That'll be a positive 4. And then if there's nothing there, that's going to be a 0. So make a note of that. And then we'll square root the 25 to get 5. All right, so this would be 4, 0 right here, and then we're going to go 5 in each direction. And then create that circle like that. All right, the next section is going to ask us to write the equation given the information. So we're just going to write that equation in the x minus h format. So to do that, I'm going to have to change my signs again. And then I'm going to need to square the radius as I write it back into the equation. X minus 5, change the sign. Y plus 8, change the sign. Square that to get 4. Let's try the next one, example 4. I've got a 0 in the front, which means I don't need to write a number at all, so I'm just going to write x squared. Y minus 3. And then I'm going to need to square this, and if you remember, a square root and a square are opposites of each other. So they actually cancel each other out, leaving just a 3. Example number 5, they tell us the diameter of a circle. We don't really want the diameter, we want the radius. So if the diameter, which is the entire thing all the way through, is 10, we want to know just halfway, which that would of course have to be 5. You've got your point over there at the end, so we'll do x plus 2, switching the sign, y plus 6, and then we'll square the 5 to get 25. On the back side, you're going to have you're going to write the equation, but you're given the circle now instead. It's just been graphed out for you. So in order to write the equation of the circle, we need the center And then we need the radius. So we'll try to find both of those just by looking at our circle. You should be able to just eyeball where the center of the circle is. That point looks like 7, 4. Between that 6 and the 8 and all the way up to 4. And then the radius is just how far it is from here out to the center in any of those directions. That looks like the radius is 3. So when I write the equation, change the sign of the h, change the sign of the k, and then do you remember what to do with that r? We'll need to square it and make it 9. Why don't you go ahead and try the next one, example number 7. I'll give you time to try to find the center and the radius, and then we'll go through it together. I found the center to be 0, 2, and the radius to be 6. If you haven't written the equation yet, go ahead. All right, so you should have x squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 36.